This is the Gotrax Dolphin 26-inch electric bike, and honestly, I've really enjoyed getting to know this e-bike. When I first saw it, the look stood out to me. The Step-Thru aluminum frame has a city-friendly vibe, and it doesn't look out of place whether you're taking it to work or just out for a weekend ride. The paint job is pretty clean with that all-white finish, and the 26-inch wheels give it a stable, classic bicycle shape instead of the chunky fat tire look you get with some other e-bikes. A lot of you might be wondering what it's actually like to ride an electric bike like this for the first time. That was my feeling too. I had a few concerns before I tried it, especially about the weight and what kind of power it could deliver, since the motor is rated 350 watts and it peaks at 500. To be honest, I wasn't sure if it would be strong enough for hilly areas or reliable for my daily commute. But from my experience, the Gotrax Dolphin handled most city streets and even some moderate inclines a lot better than I expected. Let's talk about some key features. The main thing I noticed right away is the 350-watt brushless motor and the removable 280.8-watt battery. For those new to e-bikes, wattage basically affects how much power the bike can give you. So 350 watts isn't the highest you'll ever see, but it's definitely enough for typical city riding. You get up to 20 miles per hour as the max speed, which means you're not just cruising, you're actually moving, especially when traffic is slow. There's a thumb throttle as well as pedal assist, which means you can either twist and go like a scooter, or pedal and get a boost depending on your mood or the road condition. The range impressed me for a battery this small. Gotrax says you get up to 30 miles with pedal assist on the lowest setting, and around 15.5 miles if you use only the throttle. I actually got pretty close to those numbers. I took it out on a few long city rides, did some stop-and-go traffic, and didn't stress about running out of battery. If you just use the throttle and no pedaling, the range drops quicker, so it's always smart to mix in a bit of your own effort if you want the most out of a single charge. Charging is straightforward. It takes about 5.5 hours for a full recharge from empty. You can pop the battery out, bring it inside, and plug it in. That's great if you don't have an outdoor outlet or just want to leave your bike locked outside. If you get another battery, you could easily double your range for bigger adventures. One thing I appreciate is that the Gotrax Dolphin is designed for adjustment. I'm not very tall myself, and the seat and handlebars both adjust a lot, so I was able to find a position that's comfortable. I also had a buddy who's over 6 feet tall try it out, and he had no problem. The handlebar design is what they call a sweep back, so it curves a bit instead of being totally flat or straight. And this just feels more natural for city and neighborhood rides, especially if you're not used to BMX or racing bike setups. The Shimano 7-speed system is another thing I think is important for new riders. All that means is you've got 7 gear options to make pedaling easier or harder, which is nice for both climbing or cruising. There's a trigger-style shifter, and I found gear changes to be really reliable. I never had any chain slips or weird noises. For riding in city traffic or on bike paths, 7 speeds are plenty, and you don't have to overthink which gear you're in. Safety-wise, the dual disc brakes are a must for any bike that goes at this speed. Disc brakes mean you've got a metal rotor by the wheel, and when you pull the brake lever, the pads squeeze the rotor, slowing you down fast. Even in wet conditions or when I was stopping from high speed, I always felt in control. There's also a bell built in, which is just a simple way to alert people if you're coming up behind them on the path. I'll admit, I don't love the bell sound, but it does the job. If you ever rode with just a regular horn, you might actually prefer how low-key it is. One area where the bike keeps things basic is the display. Instead of a big digital screen with all the numbers, what you get is a small control panel with some simple indicators. You've got buttons to raise or lower the pedal assist level. That just means how much help the motor gives you compared to your own pedaling, a battery indicator, and a power button. If you like numbers and want to know your exact speed or trip length, you'll probably want to add a phone holder on the handlebars and use a bike speedometer app. I did this with my phone, and it worked fine. The Gotrax Dolphin does not come with built-in lights or fenders. So if you plan to ride at night or in wet weather, you'll probably want to get a good front light and maybe a rear light or reflector. I just picked up a basic bike light for the front and stuck a clip-on red light on the back of the seat post for extra safety. Adding your own gear is no big deal, but for people who expect everything ready to roll out of the box, it's something to plan for. Regarding comfort, there's a front shock absorber, which helps a lot on rough roads and sidewalks. It's not adjustable or super high-end, but it takes the edge off potholes and bumps, and I appreciated not feeling every crack as I rode. The bike seat is a little on the firm side, but it hasn't bothered me even on longer rides, and the frame is light for an electric bike at under 50 pounds. Still, if you need to pick it up, it does feel heavier than a regular bike, especially if you're carrying it upstairs or loading it in a car. Boost mode is kind of a cool feature that I didn't expect to use much, but ended up liking. By holding the power button down for a couple of seconds, the bike will walk along at a low speed, about 3.7 miles per hour, which is handy if you're pushing it up a ramp or through a crowded area. The assembly is beginner-friendly. Most of the tough stuff is done at the factory, so all I had to do was pop on the front wheel, adjust the seat and handlebar, and make sure the brakes weren't rubbing. I'd recommend making small tweaks to the brake levers and reflectors just to get everything just right. Gotrax includes the main tools you need, and the instructions are clear. If you've never built a bike before, plan for about 45 minutes to an hour. So, let me get to what matters for daily use. From my experience, the Gotrax Dolphin stands out as a super solid commuter or city e-bike. It's perfect for anyone who wants a comfortable and easy ride without breaking the bank or dealing with an overcomplicated system. I never felt out of control, and even when the road or path got a little rough, the front fork and wide tires helped keep things steady. I had some doubts about the battery size at first. Honestly, when you see how compact it is, you don't expect much, but I got close to the claimed top range, especially when I blended pedal assist and regular pedaling. That's plenty for my commute plus errands afterwards. If you only use the throttle, the range does drop quickly, but that's pretty standard for e-bikes in this category. Another small thing I appreciated is how easy it is to remove the battery for charging. I didn't have to drag the whole bike into my apartment every time. Plus, the Step-Thru frame makes it super easy to get on and off, whether you're in jeans or dressed up for work. Now, nothing is perfect. The weight makes it tough if you have to carry it up multiple flights of stairs. I also wish it came standard with fenders and ready-to-use lights, because I end up riding early and late a lot. Still, for the price and reliability, those are things I was happy to add myself. Who do I think will enjoy this bike? In my opinion, I'd recommend this for anyone who's just getting into electric bikes, wants something super practical for getting around town, or needs a lighter backup bike to a big, heavy-duty one. It's also a good pick if you want something you can quickly adjust for different riders, maybe a family bike everyone shares. Plus, the fact that it comes all certified is reassuring, meaning the electrical parts meet safety standards. In conclusion, the Gotrax Dolphin 26-inch electric bike combines stability, comfort, and flexibility into a package that's easy to live with. The key features, reliable motor, good battery life, swift charging, and solid build, make it a real value for daily routine or leisure rides. It's not packed with fancy extras, but it delivers what matters for simple and worry-free rides. I will share detailed information about the Gotrax Dolphin 26-inch electric bike in the comments section, everyone. Thank you for watching.